Welcome, everyone. This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBIC, the head bum in charge, along with Baloney and the Southside Bum. Gentlemen, hope you are having a great Labor Day weekend. I am here with my margarita in my
That's a
hand.
fancy boy drink.
Oh yeah, dude. I had to get the big fancy margarita glasses. So
That is legit. All right, so give us your. And I know you fancy yourself a bartender, and I shouldn't say that condescendingly. You are a very good bartender. What do you got in there? Like, give us the recipe.
my house margarita, it's basically 2 ounces of good tequila, blanco, ounce and a half of lime juice, ounce of agave nectar, ounce of triple sec, and bada boom, you got yourself a party in a glass.
And you're a rocks guy, not a slushy guy?
Yeah, no, I don't even. This isn't even rocks. This is just shaken and strained. So,
Holy shit! I
so
dig it.
yeah, let's. Might be an interesting bumcast towards the end of the show.
I dig it. I'm killing some bottles. I got a bunch
This
of
is
bottles
well,
from
this is this
tailgates.
is this is margarita number three. So I had a couple 2 tree margaritas already.
We got a big show going here.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
So
I got my
gents,
vitamin water.
Oh,
there
look at
you
you,
go,
Johnny.
Johnny. Got to
Healthy
rehydrate
Johnny.
got to rehydrate from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So today's Labor Day weekend. As we said last week, we originally were planning on taking the week off for vacation, and then lo and behold, the podcasting gods have just forced us to come off the
No
retirement, I guess.
No days off. No days
Yeah.
off for the bums. It was a big week. Big week in Chicago sports.
It was a big fucking week in Chicago sports, and I honestly thought, I was like, okay, like Sox are going ho hum, going through the motions. They got swept by the Diamondbacks, so Sox are dead. And then Bears, there was no Bears game, and then holy hell, what a week we had! And we're gonna break it all down. So here's what we got tonight on tap. We got La Russa leaving, the Sox are back, Ted Phillips is retiring. We got season predictions, and then we were at All Out yesterday, and there was some major drama that went down. So we got we basically, and then obviously Dylan Cease's near no. So we got a lot to break down this show, because it just, that quiet week went from 0 to 100 real quick. So before we get started on some White Sox talk, I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up to our All Out tailgate yesterday at the Now Arena. It was a blast. You guys were awesome. Did a lot of bourbon, a lot of beers, ate a lot of tacos, and just all around great time. So thank you for everyone who showed up to the tailgate yesterday.
It was awesome, man. We met a lot of old friends. We met new friends, a lot of new listeners, hopefully, to the podcast. A lot of new followers. It was all around a success, man. I wasn't sure how it was going to happen. Like we've been doing the Whiskey at Comiskey's all summer long, and those have been really fun. I didn't know how it was going to translate to wrestling, and we didn't miss a beat, man. Everybody there was awesome. Everybody wanted to talk sports, wanted to talk wrestling. Everybody was drinking, eating. It was a lot of fun. So I think going forward, as long as they keep doing it at the Now Arena, we're going to keep doing them, right?
Yep, 100%, dude. I mean, I would prefer, going to United Center, but I feel like there, at least at the Now Arena, you get a better place to tailgate as opposed to United Center, where you would just be like crammed into a sardine parking lot. So, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. All right. So, Sox had a terrible week last week. We all know that against the Diamondbacks,
we could proclaim them dead for like the millionth time.
Yeah. But now, Monday, or was it Tuesday, Tony La Russa walking through his pregame on the field with Rick Hahn. There's that photo. And then an hour or so later, he had some health issues, and he's out of the team indefinitely. Miguel Cairo has taken over. And holy hell, like, what? Talk about flipping a light switch on. Like, this team is night and day now from what Tony La Russa was putting out there. And I said it before on tweets. I seriously think that the Sox were just very lethargic and just beaten down emotionally by having Tony La Russa as their manager. And I'm not trying to speak ill will on his health or anything like that, because I don't want that bad juju. But every time they talk about needing that fire, I think that was code for get Tony off this fucking team. And I mean, kind of the proof's in the pudding right there. Like, look how many home runs we've hit in the past week. We hit
13
home runs now.
13 in the last 7 games. And yeah, my first point, Jason, was kind of what you had mentioned about not speaking ill will about Tony's health. We all have said some mean things about Tony La Russa, but that was in the context of baseball and managing this baseball team. I saw some real meatball takes on Twitter, and that's not, I mean, not a surprise to anybody. There's a way you could not wish ill will on Tony and still not want him a part of your baseball team, right? You know,
Yeah.
like what he's going through personally or whatever is different than what he's, doing on the baseball field. But you're right. I mean, 13 home runs in the last 7 games. They're 5-2 under Miguel Cairo. 5 out of the last 6, and it just looks like a different team. The eyeball test. You know that young scrappy team that we all fell in love with the chains and the swagger and the home runs and everything like that. Like it's slowly coming back. I feel like it's slowly coming back. A big part of it has to do with AJ Pollock and Elvis Andrews. I mean, shout out to Elvis Andrews. He's been
Yeah.
fucking awesome since we got him. But just the home runs, like that's just something we didn't see all season, and we kept waiting for it. We kept saying like, wait till the weather warms up, and then we said wait till everyone's healthy. Well, that never happened. So it's just like we kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and all of a sudden Tony's gone, and now, they got their swagger back. I mean, maybe, yeah,
Well,
possibly.
especially that Liam Hendricks quote about get the old stoic old timey baseball like out of here, and then the Yaz quote.
The Yaz quote, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, "What's changing?" He's like, "What do you think?"
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it's not a surprise. You see the beat reporters in like post game stuff saying like, "Well, the music's been played a little louder," and obviously you have a lot more fun when you win, and them winning this week is probably a lot to do with that. But just the fact that they said like we haven't heard the music this loud all season. Like,
maybe
what
Tony,
did
maybe Tony was like, "Turn that fucking music down. I don't want to
Yes,
hear that
turn
shit
that
in the
noise.
fucking clubhouse."
No Bad Bunny in the clubhouse.
No, probably Yo puts on his music, and then Tony's like, "Turn that shit off."
Yeah, but
What is he
but yes,
speaking
they're
there?
passing the eyeball test, and that's what we've been waiting for. And there's no other eyeball test than Saturday's game. And I know you want to mention it. We both want to talk about it.
Yeah,
That was
we'll get to that in a second.
that was the one. But yeah, obviously Tony being gone makes a big difference. At least it does to us.
So Johnny, question for you: Is this an is this a conspiracy theory here that after Arizona with La Russa and Han talking in the field that he was secretly fired, and they said just fake a health scare and get the hell out of here, and then don't come back?
Well, we just came back from wrestling, so I don't think this is some sort of kayfabe or anything of that magnitude.
Don't work
But
yourself into a shoot, brother.
yeah, but no, I mean obviously Tony Russa is old, so obviously hopefully everything's okay with him. You guys did mention about the clubhouse and the players and all that and whatnot. Um, I know we're gonna probably, I mean, we're gonna get into it a little bit more here, but yeah, Sox are winning. They're only what a game and a half back right now or two, and I don't want to be a Debbie Downer or anything like this on the Sox team right now, but I'm still not sold on this team. I'm sorry. I mean, we get these like 1 week they're doing well, they have a go on a winning streak, and the next minute, yes, you got my guy Kyrell, you got a different vibe in the clubhouse, and I hope it sticks. I hope it actually does turn into something where they start going on a run, because you've seen teams in the past go on hot streaks and go into the playoffs, and that's exactly what you want this team to go to. Like, they're so talented, and we've been crying and begging and waiting and patiently waiting for them to finally break out. And is this going to be it? I feel like if you take at least 2 out of 3 to Seattle, that and you take 3 out of 4 from the A's, I mean, I think, yeah, I would say, all right, I would have a little bit more confidence in this team, especially with a hot Seattle Mariners team. I mean, Lance Lynn was just lights out on this game, and this is exactly what we needed, especially when we always have when we're struggling on first games where we can't close it out. And like I said, kudos to the pitching and the hitting as well too. but yeah, I mean, hopefully, this is it. This is something that we've been waiting for such a long time. So, I'm not holding my breath just yet. Let's see how they go this week. But hopefully it is. Hopefully this is the turnaround that we've been desperately needed.
Yeah, and I like Chris's comment about new manager bump. We see this all the times when teams fire their GM, they fire their manager, they they just start get that mojo back, and they start going on winning streaks. We saw what happened with Philly
with the Phillies.
earlier
I was
this
about
year.
to say the same thing.
They went on a run after they fired their manager, and I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but you got a lot of Latin players, and maybe they just weren't responding to old timey baseball guy. Maybe they wanted the Venezuelan guy who relates to them more. Could be but I think it definitely is something to do with the new manager that they just didn't want Tony there anymore, and maybe they were trying to tank the season to get him fired.
I don't know. I don't know if it's purposely tanking the season. I think it does have a lot to do with you take the image of your manager, and if he's not bringing the energy, they're not going to bring the energy either. That happens a lot in soccer. That happens in baseball, even basketball. You take on the personality, you take on the persona of your management and your coaches. You had the question, Jason, of are the White Sox back? And it seems like, Johnny, you're not buying in just yet. I am, just because I'm like, what else are we gonna do, right? We've been going to all these games. I want to believe that they're back, especially in this AL Central that like nobody wants to take the reins of.
Just the home runs are back now, and like that's what we've been missing. Like the power's back now.
The two things I want to mention that kind of worry me is we saw it today. Luis Robert is still not swinging properly. Like it seems like he's still super hurt. Like there was one swing today where, again, it was almost one-handed swing. If he can't swing the baseball bat, what is he doing out there? Like it's been super frustrating because we just don't understand what this White Sox team does with their injured players. Sometimes you want them to gut it out. Other times you baby them and they're put on the DL. Like if he's hurt, don't play him. And the other thing is Andrew Vaughn in right field. Like, what are we like? We just keep doing this. And I thought maybe it would change with Miguel. It's not. Like, he's just not. He's going to cost us game event. He has cost us games this season. And today was just another example. Like, he just can't be. He's a liability out there.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about Saturday night, because like that was the game that we didn't have tickets for this weekend. I went to the game on Friday. That was a crazy game, the double win. I'm counting that game counts as 2 wins.
Yeah.
That game counts as 2 wins. So we should be only a half a game back right now. But they won in walk-off fashion on Friday, and then Dylan Cease just dropped his nuts all over the field on Saturday. And I had major FOMO. That was we felt like everyone in White Sox Twitter was there. All of our friends were there. We had some family there. Like it's just what a game not to miss. What a game not to go to. Like
we chose poorly.
We did, yes.
You see that like meme of you chose poorly.
Indiana Jones. It was Last Crusade. We chose poorly.
I text you, Jason. Like it seemed like everyone and their mother was there. My Instagram feed was just people at the game, not us. It was, like the 108 guys who were with the Barstool guys. Southside Behavior was doing. Oh, what's going on here?
Goddamn fruit fly just drowned in my margarita.
This podcast just came off the reel of fruit fly. Everybody and their mother was there. Southside Behavior was doing their bar crawl. The On Tap guys were in a suite. I had friends there. I had family there. Everyone was there. And then credit to my wife. We found a sitter. My mother-in-law had mentioned, like, I'll watch the kids if you guys want to go out for something. And Julie said, do you want to go to the game? And obviously I did, but we had been going to a lot of games and stuff like that. I'm like, no, let's just go out to dinner. Let's just like do our own thing. I chose poorly. I did have a nice dinner, but the problem was 8th and 9th inning. I had my phone out there at a pretty nice restaurant. We went back to Picalabuco. We've been there together, Jason. Yep. It's like, it's a nice restaurant. I have the waiter asking me questions, and I'm looking at Dylan Cease. Like, he must have thought I was a meatball. He's like, what are you doing, man? Because I wasn't even paying attention to our order or anything. And it's because that Saturday night at that ballpark with the home runs and the grand slams and the no-hitter into the 9th, like that looked like what we expected the White Sox to be all season long. and it was encapsulated in one day, and it was electric. I put it there. It was an electric Saturday night. We were not there, but it was an awesome game to see. So I just want to get your guys' takes because I mean you were tweeting up a storm.
Yeah, I think that's probably gonna go down as one of the most heartbreaking Chicago sports moments, up there with like the Doink and Jordan retiring.
I don't think it's that. You took it harder than we did. The only
I mean,
reason I didn't take it that hard, and I had mentioned it to you, like we can't have it both ways where we're complaining about the lack of runs, and then when they're batting in the eighth and hitting grand slams, you're like, or not you. I saw it all over the place. Like get them off the plate. Let Dylan Cease pitch again and stuff like that. Like I'm never gonna complain about a 13-0 ass whooping.
Well, wait, hold on. So there was something that people were noticing on Twitter that Rocco did with these position players. That I mean, it was kind of like obvious that the guy was just. I know he's not a pitcher and all and whatnot, but he has pitched in games before, and Gordon was just throwing like just balls, like just ball after ball after ball after ball, and it just felt like what he was doing. He was trying to prolong that inning so that way Cease will lose some sort of that that mojo that he was going through pretty much the whole 8 innings.
Yeah, he cools down a little bit.
He cools down. So I mean, there was people that were noticing that something. It felt like that he was prolonging it. Granted, I mean, obviously, if a position player goes in, obviously Tony Rulis is not there, so they were going to get home runs and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was such a weird eighth inning.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt about that when he was putting those position players in there.
I wasn't mad about it because they're a division rival. They shouldn't make it easy on you, and like people were mad at Luis Ariz. He's the best batter in baseball. Like you can't blame him for wanting to get a hit there and stuff like that.
Oh no,
Obviously,
I'm not.
No, but I'm saying just in general, the Twins and Rocco Baldelli. I mean, you don't expect them to make it easy. Like we'd be pissed if it was the foot was in the other shoe. I'd want them to swing and I'd want them to make it grimy and dirty and stuff like that. It's something like a football game. It's a division game. You do what you can to win. And at this point, they weren't going to win, but you do what you can to bother the other team, if you will.
Yeah, but at that point, just like give the guy his moment. Just you're down 13 runs. Who gives a shit?
I know.
Just cash it in and pop it up and get it over. Just hit down. Like, I mean, I get you don't want to. I guess you don't want. You have some pride about getting, not no hit. But at that point, just give the guy his moment. He deserved it. I'm a little salty about it because I wanted the Hulk Harrelson history.
So that's the thing is like he's 26 years old, right?
Yeah.
The way he's been pitching this season and the way he pitched on Saturday, being so efficient, he wasn't really relying on the strikeouts, and that's usually what gets him into trouble early in games where it's like the high pitch counts,
Right?
And like 3-2 to every batter and stuff like that. If he finds a way to be that efficient while still being able to strike out anybody he wants, he's gonna get that no hitter. Like he's young, he's efficient, or he's learning to be efficient and stuff like that. It's been pretty nice to see the development of Dylan Cease this season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he'll get his no-hitter, but that would have been super nice just to do it against the Twins and drop his nuts all over the Twins. And also from Saturday night, I want to say shout out to our P1s who wore the cease and desist shirt.
Yes, we saw a lot of tweets, right? We were getting some tweets about the cease and desist shirts, and I know there are some. It's been pretty cool to see like our merch just like randomly pop up at Sox games, and even when we're walking the grandstands, and I was like, sometimes we see Jeff Bartlett or somebody, and like, holy, that's our shirt. It's cool.
Yeah. And speaking of merch, keep an eye out. We got some Bear stuff dropping soon. Wink.
Oh yeah.
Hint, hint. All right. So let's move on to the other big news of the week, and that was praise fucking baby Jesus. The long national nightmare for Bears fans is over. Ted Phillips has finally announced his retirement at the end of the season. It's still fucking 6 months too long. He should just do it now, but I understand they want to keep him along for the stadium build and everything like that. But I don't think I've ever been more joyous in sports news than Ted Phillips retiring. So 1 down, 3 to go. Let's get them all out of all the McCaskies, get all those bums out of here. And I heard a report that Virginia was in bad health. It's not gonna say anything bad. I said enough bad things about my death list concert shirt idea. But yeah, I mean, guys, how did you feel about? Obviously, I think we're all the same boat. We're just fucking happy and stoic that he's gone.
We're happy. It was awesome. Like that news came out of the blue. Like we weren't expecting it. I saw a couple tweets like early in the morning saying like expect an announcement from the Bears. I thought it could be anything. It could be, Arlington news. It could be, roster updates and cuts or whatever. I didn't know what it was going to be. When that news came out, I mean, we text each other and stuff. I was like, holy shit, it's finally happened. And like you said, it's one step in the right direction, but it just seems like it's slowly becoming a franchise we could hopefully believe in, between the move from out of Soldier Field, Ryan Poles seemingly knowing what he's doing, Eberflus hire, and him being hopefully competent. And now Ted Phillips stepping down because he's been a bum for the last 20 years plus. It's everything we're asking for. So I know the report came out that like the Bears are like the number 4th highest earning franchise or valued franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we're run like a poverty franchise. We're run like a bottom, 5 franchise. And hopefully that changes. Hopefully it changes sooner rather than later because we're seeing steps in the right direction. So all I can do is hope.
I will say one thing, Peter, because we were talking about this last year when there was rumors about a possibility of the Bears moving to Arlington. That the only reason that way Ted Phillips was still around was because of the whole push of, that was the whole main thing. He was the whole
facilitating the move.
Exactly. So you called this way before all this stuff happened, and obviously look at there it seems like this is going to be a goal because they're going to have a huge meeting with this, about this and what they're planning to do in the next couple of months here. And when I heard the announcement, I'm just like, this all makes sense now because he was everything that you heard about the rumors, and now that they got this seems like this Arlington deal is going to go through. I mean, what more what he's been in the organization for over 20
40 years. 40
oh
years.
Yeah, like as an accountant first and then everything else.
Yeah, but yeah, he's been in with that organization for such a long time. I mean, that's a long time for anybody to be in a company. Obviously there's highs and lows with him, but obviously more lows than highs.
I was gonna say there's not many highs.
yeah. I mean, you went to a Super Bowl and obviously what happened on that, but yeah, man. I mean, hopefully it is the beginning of the right direction. Obviously, fans wanting a bigger stadium for the state of Illinois, and obviously for the Bears as well too. But have multiple things that you can have, Final Fours and whatnot, WrestleManias. But yeah, I mean, this is just one step. Let's see where this goes. And yeah, I don't want to get too much into the whole Virginia McCaskey thing, but yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, it's and the way that the Bears organization has a bunch of cap for next year and all that. It seems like it's exciting times to be a Bears fan again. So hopefully things are turning in the right direction.
Yeah. Also, if they better let like Ryan Poles hire his boss.
I mean, when does that ever happen? Though?
I know, but I mean, like, who you gonna really trust? Fucking Dumbledore to fucking hire a new team president, or Virginia, who might not even be around that time.
Well, there's an interesting thing about them. The whole thing about Ted Phillips
pull in again to fucking do that shit.
Right. They would do like an outside consultant, like or an outside hire to hire somebody. But the thing I saw was the possibility of the whole move and Ted Phillips getting ready for a sale of the Bears. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I think John Greenberg was tweeting about it a little bit on Friday. And there wasn't anything definitive, but like the moves that they're making, the little chess pieces that they're making is basically everything they can to garner value for the franchise for a sale, which makes sense. Virginia's in poor health from what we hear, and now they're getting rid of Ted after he facilitates the move and stuff like that. Maybe they're getting all their ducks in a row. Maybe they're putting their chips on the table to see if it's a possibility of a sale of the team.
Yeah, I mean, once you lock down that property, your value is going to at least go up by another $1 billion with all the stuff that you can. That if you can get private equity from someone who buys it, you get like a Cuban or Elon Musk or someone who's got the money to
Bezos.
yeah, to buy it. Like you can build. Like I said, we've always said it. You can build your own entertainment complex. You can build your own casino, your hotel, and you just fucking print money at that whole stadium.
Yeah, and the problem is though, for the McCaskies, is all their money is tied up with the franchise of the Bears. If Arlington Heights isn't helping them, with the stadium bill and stuff like that, I don't know if they have enough money to
they don't
build a $5-6 billion complex and stuff like that. No. And that's where I think they're getting ready to sell.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good to see that Ted is gone, going to be gone. I mean, he's had 3 playoff wins in his entire tenure as president.
Yeah, it's been pretty miserable,
I mean,
I mean, the whole Lovey era I would consider it, somewhat successful just because compared to everything else, it's been garbage. But yeah, man, it's been a lot more bad than good under his regime.
Yeah. Okay, so let's also talk the Bears season kicks off on Sunday. So let's talk some predictions here because we had Rob Schwartz on last week. We talked Bears and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys listened to that podcast if you weren't joining us live. So we didn't really do our season predictions or anything like that as far as the whole entirety of the NFL. We kind of went through the schedule, did our picks and everything like that. But week 1, 49ers, I said we all kind of in a consensus last week that the Bears should win this game. Since the way they played in preseason, I don't really get scared from Trey Lance. I mean, sure, they got, Debo and, Elijah Mitchell and,
they got weapons.
They got weapons, but you still got, Twinkle Toes throwing the fucking ball behind there. And who knows if he's going to actually pan out. But if it was Garoppolo playing against the Bears, I might be a little more on it. But I think this is a very winnable game to start the season off before Green Bay week 2.
We're catching them at the right time, right? If they're running out Trey Lance, who knows what that team's going to be like, 5th, 6th, 7th week of the season. I think at home, season opener, you get your, the crowd behind you, you get some pressure. I think it's a very, very winnable game. I know you mentioned the weapons. I mean, George Kittle's still out there and he's fucking awesome. Whenever he's healthy, he looks unstoppable. But now we got Cole Kmet, right? I'm turning the tables on you
guys. baby Gronk, man.
We got Cole Kmet. I'm just interested to see what this offense looks like now, under the bright lights. So yeah, I think it's a winnable game. That's the 1-0 prediction. I think if ever there's a time to start the season off right, it's a 49ers team that they still got a really good defense, but it's a winnable game.
Yes. All right, so let's go down here with our picks. And what you guys want to just do division winners and then Super Bowl win?
Oh yeah,
Super Bowl?
For our predictions.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with AFC East. I think we're all going to pick Buffalo, right, guys?
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah. I think last year you had them as like your Super Bowl favorites, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think Miami will be better, but Buffalo's going to run away with that division, so that's an easy one. AFC North. I think we still got to go Cincy until someone.
I'm not sure I go Cincy, man. I really don't know if they're a talented team, with Chase and Burrow, they can be unstoppable, but we've always seen it. You get to the Super Bowl, you get that Super Bowl hangover. Most Super Bowl teams lose players in free agency, and that's a really, really tough division. I think you still got Lamar Jackson, who's a NFL MVP, and he's unhappy with his contract. But if he's playing out that contract, he's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but they took all the weapons away from him, though. He's basically just got Mark Andrews.
Dude, he runs like all he has to do is throw and run. I still think the Ravens are a dangerous team. John Harbaugh is a really good coach. He has that team typically contending. And then the Steelers, I know it's Mitch. He's got the starting job, and you don't know what that is, but that defense is tough. I'm just saying you can't just hand it to Cincinnati. I think it's a very, very competitive division.
Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to compare it to kind of like the AL Central, that's kind of like a similar thing. Like everybody was, crowning the White Sox to be, the heavy favorite when it first came out, and obviously, the Twins were a lot better. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to Did they win the division, Cincinnati last year?
The Bengals did.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Burrow's still young. I mean, I love Joe Burrow, man. I really love that Cincinnati team. I think they can be a contending team for years to come. But Peter's right. I just think that it's more of a difficult division to really pinpoint and say. I will go with the Bengals if you're looking for a yes or no answer here. I'll probably pick the Bengals to win that division though.
Okay. Also, if you guys are watching along as we go over these divisions, feel free to drop your picks too, because we're interested to see who you guys, if you agree with us or if you don't. So, yeah, follow along, comment in. AFC South, I think it's going to be a toss-up between Tennessee and Indiana. I think Tennessee still, obviously they lost A.J. Brown, but you still got, good defense, and you got Derrick Henry. But Indiana's got a great defense. They got Matt Ryan now instead of fucking, noodle arm Wentz.
And then Rivers before that. They're a carousel. But I have the Colts winning that division. And I know obviously they lost Eberflus and they got a new quarterback again, but I think Matt Ryan is much better than Carson Wentz, and he's much better than, the last year of Phillip Rivers. Their defense has players. I know Darius Leonard, now Shaquille Leonard, which, by the way, I don't know how grown men, we saw this with Mike Stanton and Giancarlo Stanton. You can't just switch names once you're a professional. You're like, he's in the middle of your
piece.
No, you just can't switch names, man. Like, I'm going to be calling him Darius Leonard for a while, but he's awesome. So, yeah, I got the Colts winning that division.
Johnny, Tennessee or Colts?
I like
Jaguars.
Yeah, I want to go with the Jaguars. No, I mean, I still love Tennessee, man. I still think that they're a very good team. Every team loses players, but I'll probably pick Tennessee over the Colts. I'd like how Mike Vrabel is just a very good coach, and he's that Tennessee team. I just think that not by much, but I think it would be between Indianapolis and Tennessee, but I'm going to go with Tennessee on this one.
All right. Here's the absolute bananas league this year. AFC West. I am fucking pumped for every AFC West game.
It's much watch. Every game is much watch.
It is. It's going to be every, you watch. It's going to be every flex game is going to be a Sunday night or it's going to be Monday night. You got the Raiders. You got revamped Denver with Russ in there now. And then obviously you got the powerhouse offenses of KC and the Chargers. I know that KC lost Tyreek Hill, but I still think you can't go against Mahomes until he gets beat.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I know, everybody's like, it's not even a sleeper pick anymore, but Justin Herbert and the Chargers, I feel like they're everyone's favorite. And, they're the up-and-coming team. They were basically what Buffalo was, 3 years ago. But I feel like the Chiefs, man, they don't rebuild. They just retool. And they lost Tyreek Hill, but they got Juju Smith-Schuster. And the way that offense is constructed, I feel like a possession receiver like that might help Pat Mahomes a lot more than the, deep threat. And maybe I'm wrong, but, they're still really, really good team. So until I think otherwise, and I think he's got a chip on his shoulder, man. Pat Mahomes is catching a lot of shit at the end of the season with the scrambling and the fumbles, and he just didn't look. People were saying like he didn't look like himself. He's still otherworldly talented. So I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think right until unless I don't want to say this, if Patrick Mahomes would get injured or something like that.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Be a different story. But yeah, until I mean, you still got Andy Reid. You still have that whole coaching staff. I mean, got Matt Nagy now, but
that's the beginning of the end for the Chiefs. Matt Nagy on the sidelines.
Yeah, but I
forgot about that. I changed my mind. Chargers all the way. Pat Mahomes is going to get just start running a whole bunch of screen passes now, and they're going to get -3 yards in every. Sorry, -3 yards on every play.
I was gonna say BU.
Yeah. All right. On to the NFC. NFC East: Dallas Giants, Philly, Washington. It seems like another year of shit teams in the NFC East, but I think it's Dallas until it's. I think they just got the best offensive team.
I have Dallas winning this division, but I wouldn't be shocked if Philadelphia wins. Man, Philly is like a sneaky, up
Sleeper
and coming team, if you sleeper team, if you will, especially in that division where anybody wins any given Sunday. And
I mean, the Cowboys
like
are going to Cowboys.
Yeah.
They always fucking find a way to just shoot themselves in the foot.
But I do like the Cowboys offense.
And you know what? That's the reason why I'm going to go with Philadelphia. I just
There you
don't.
go.
The Cowboys, I just don't have any confidence in them, and obviously, I got Cowboys friends who are fans as well too. I'm sorry, it just they have the worst luck when it comes to stuff like this. Even if they're close or they have injuries or whatnot, they just have that bad juju on them. So I'm gonna go with Philadelphia winning the division.
Okay. NFC North. Obviously this is easy. We're all picking the Bears to win the division.
The Bears.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is in the mud. He's going to jail before the season starts. I mean, it's Bears all the way for the NFC North. I think that's clear-cut favorite right there. NFC South. I'm not even talking about it.
Yep. I'm okay with that. We've never edited out a podcast. Like, credit to us, 102 episodes. We never edited anything. We might have to go back and edit that.
NFC South. So you got the Panthers, the Falcons, the Saints, and the Bucks. It's Bucks across the board. I think
that one's kind of easy.
Yeah,
or at least in my eyes.
Unless Tom Brady gets hurt, at his ripe old age of 45,
gets more face surgery, misses some games.
Yeah, maybe he has to get a little Botox in the forehead or something. But yeah, that's the Bucks division. And then finally the NFC West. 49ers, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks. I think you have to go with defending Super Bowl champs until someone knocks them out. But I think the Cardinals are going to make it interesting.
Yeah, I think that the Cardinals always start off hot. September, October into November, like they look like unstoppable on offense. And then Kyler Murray kind of regresses. Hopefully now that he's got this contract and stuff, you think maybe he puts a whole season together. But I think it's still the Rams.
He's my fantasy quarterback.
I think it's still the Rams. I saw a funny stat, and I'll bring it up maybe, or I'll tweet it out and stuff like that. That Kyler Murray's stats before the Call of Duty comes out, like it's usually like right around November or something like that. Like he is like an all-pro quarterback up until the release date for Call of Duty, and then he just shits the bed. So we've been putting our tinfoil hats on. That's something to look out for.
He's got to level up on the multiplayer right away, man. You can't get caught sleeping. You can't go into one of the battlefields and get caught with the lesser weapons and the upgrades, man. Like,
is it what is it? You're trying to prestige? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's like then you get your double prestige and all that.
Yeah. Kyler Murray ain't trying to get no Super Bowls. He's trying to prestige for this.
That's probably why they put that 4-hour studying clause in his contract. So it's like, yo, dude, fucking don't play video games in November. Study the tape.
But I'm with you. I think it's the Rams division for at least another year.
Yeah. All right. So then let's start with the AFC. Who do you got winning the AFC going to the Super Bowl? I think this is going to be Buffalo's year. I'm going to say
that's a great prediction. Johnny's been on that bandwagon for the last 2 years, and they're a really good team. Josh Allen is fucking awesome. So
I mean, we all saw how close they came last year to doing it. That was a fucking bananas game between
awesome game.
Yeah, I think how I've been loving this team for a while, so I'm definitely going to go with Buffalo, and I'm just going to even say it right now. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win the whole thing. So I'm so high on Buffalo. They got a lot of weapons. Defense is good, all around good organization. It ain't going to be like the whole Jim Kelly years, man. I think they're finally going to break out and they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Do you think that if Buffalo doesn't go into that bananas game with the Chiefs last year, that they would have beat the Bengals in the
Yeah.
AFC Championship? I
I
think
think
so
so.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mahomes was that was such a weird game for him. And
That's
yeah, so
I'm
I
glad.
mean, yeah, I would say the Bills actually would, but you don't know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you don't know when when these outcomes come out, like how it would come about. I mean, Cincinnati was was just kept on winning. They were just that team that came in and they obviously they went to the Super Bowl. So I don't know, man. Like it's kind of hard to predict. I mean, I think Buffalo would have been favored, but I don't know.
So you mentioned that game. Obviously Pat Mahomes didn't look like himself, and I got the Chiefs. I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he's the best quarterback in the league, and I think he makes it back to the Super Bowl this year. So I don't know if you want to go to the NFC because I got
Yeah. NFC. I think I have to go with the Rams again. I don't see any team in there that kind of scares me. Maybe Tampa Bay and Rams again in the conference, but um, I think it's going to be the Rams again.
Yeah, so that's why I got Chiefs Rams. I think I got Chiefs Rams and I got Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. Which obviously maybe we want to see new teams in the Super Bowl. We've seen a lot of Rams, we've seen a lot of the Chiefs. Buffalo's made it far the last couple of years, but breaking down the divisions, there's flaws in a lot of these teams, and I know it's early, and there's going to be injuries and there's going to be stuff we can't predict. But for now, I think they're the two best teams in their respective conferences.
Yeah, I'm going Buffalo in the Rams, and I would probably take Buffalo. I'll go with the sexy pick for Buffalo winning the Super Bowl.
All right, so you guys both have Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So that wraps our NFL talk, but we actually have an ad to run. We have advertisement now, folks, and ironically, it's our own shit.
Yeah, like what's the biggie thing? You don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah, that's
we're getting a little high on our own supply.
Yeah, I think that's rule number 4 or rule number 5 of Biggie's selling drug.
Commandments.
Yeah, the crack commandments. All right. So without further ado, here is our first ever advertisement.
The Chicago Sports Bums, along with Jack's Place, are happy to announce our second watch party. This time, it will be the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. October 9th, noon kickoff, and there will be a post-game BumCast recorded afterwards. There will be food specials, drink specials, and giveaways galore. If you were at our last event, you know how much fun that was, and we can't wait to see you guys there. 7000 West Southwest Highway in Chicago Ridge. Stay tuned to all of our social channels for giveaway food and drink details.
Man, dude, you sound like you're reading just like a speech in high school.
I didn't read it. There was one take, man. I was telling Johnny before. That was one take. I stumbled on a couple things, but it was all, I wrote stuff down, but it wasn't a script. It was just bullet points. And we want to keep doing this, going forward. We want to get some ad reads, and we want to promote not only the live show, but also, our merch store. And if we get a couple sponsors, we're going to keep doing it that way. But I will give credit to My Sock Summer. People give shit on him for his ad reads and stuff like that. It's a lot harder than it looks, man. And obviously, I only did it in one take, but I could see where you stumbled along. So I want to get you guys. We talked about a pre-show. We're gonna get some ad reads. We'll make them funny, or we'll make them interesting. But yeah, it's a lot harder than it looked.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along here. Let's talk a little wrestling. We went to AEW All Out last night, as we mentioned earlier, and a great time with tailgating and everything. And the event was pretty damn good too. I don't want to go too much into match by match in the card, but because we got to talk basically the big fallout that happened. So main event, CM Punk, Jon Moxley, obviously Punk, Chicago boy, Moxley champion. Punk wins, and then MJF makes his triumphant return. He won earlier in the match as the Joker in the Casino Ladder match. Looks like he's got a new faction with Stokely and Big Cass, aka William Morrissey, and Ethan Page, and a couple other jabronis.
The Ass Boys.
Yeah, the Ass Boys. Oh yes, the Ass Boys. So MJF comes back. He's gonna look like challenging Punk for the title, and then all of that got overshadowed by CM Punk's post media scrum, where he basically just buried and shit on everyone in the top of AEW. He called a reporter for being friends with Colt Cabana and for, misreporting, and then he called out Adam Page and the Elite because they had EVP, so he called out the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and I don't know if you guys saw that video, but fucking Tony Khan was just like fucking deer in the headlights on that, man.
He is like almost like a fish out of water. And we give Tony Khan a lot of credit for, putting the money and starting something he believes in, and starting something from scratch with the Young Bucks and the Elite, and getting this thing going for the last 2.5 years and stuff like that. But you could tell where obviously he's just not seasoned enough to deal with these professional wrestlers that have been wrestling, for 20 years
all
and
the
stuff like that.
egos and
All the egos and all like the, for better or worse, sucking your own dicks and going into business for yourself, like Punk said about Hangman. So yeah, dude, this is a young company. People are already saying like, oh, this is WCW all over again. I think there is stuff they have to tweak backstage, with in regards to the hierarchy, if you will, and stuff like that. And I don't know if Tony could handle all of the creative, but he needs somebody in there, almost like I don't want to say like a Tony La Russa, but like a veteran presence in that locker room that kind of handles their shit, almost like a babysitter, if you will, because that's what they need. All these egos need to be stroked, but need to be yelled at. You need to be stern. And I don't know if Tony's is able to handle all of that.
well, the problem is all the veteran people they have in that locker room are all the current wrestlers.
Yeah, so like Chris Jericho and stuff like that, and he goes into business for himself, like he has in the past and stuff like that. So it's not somebody you can trust. It's just an interesting situation. It's a fluid situation, if you will. People are, shitting on Punk hardcore, and rightfully so. Joey makes a good point. They need structure. That's basically what I was looking for. They need structure. They almost at this point, I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucks and Kenny kind of almost lose that EVP title. At this point, it's almost just like a title in
Perpetuity.
yeah, or like an honorary title, because I don't know how much they're doing backstage in
He
regards to booking and stuff.
Tony
like that.
already
He took all
took
of that.
away. Yeah, he
I
took
know,
away
that's what I'm
their
saying.
booking decisions and stuff.
But yeah, man, it's been crazy. It was an awesome show. Like, we had a lot of fun. I thought, you don't want to go match by match, but since you talked about MJF, I thought the Casino Ladder match with Sympathy for the Devil, the fact that he put up money to have that song played, and the long-term storytelling of the devil, and like the tweets and everything else, like that's awesome. That's the stuff about wrestling that we love. So I thought that was really well done. The trios match with Kenny Omega, I had it written down. Kenny Omega's all the way back. Like, I'm ready for him. I know that he just won these belts and the trio belts. He's probably going to run with them for a little bit. I'm ready for him in the main event picture. I'm ready for him to take, the belt again and kind of run with it, because I'd rather see Kenny Omega with all these things. And I know Punk versus MJF is going to be awesome, but yeah, it was, and then that's it. So like, Jade Cargill.
Match of the night obviously was Acclaimed versus Swerve in Their Glory.
Crowd was nuts for that match. The crowd,
yeah.
I mean, obviously Chicago crowd's always going to be a Chicago crowd, but that was something special. Everybody, tossing the scissors around. Johnny, don't you dare not do it. Thank you. That was awesome. Everybody talked about it in the stadium. Like, do you call an audible hearing that crowd and hearing that pop and hearing how over the Acclaimed were? Would you have called an audible if you're Tony Khan?
Yeah, I would have. If I wasn't if I was Keith Lee and Strickland, I would have been like, yo, we're not winning this one. Like, I'm calling the audible in the ring. I'll deal with the fallout later.
Yeah, out of all the booking decisions, I thought that was the only like highlighted like wrong decision. I thought the Acclaim should have gone over.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, I think the whole arena was all Acclaim fans. I mean, I thought that they were going to take the titles. I thought they were going to get that, their chance and all that. I mean, they've been homegrown wrestlers since AEW started, and maybe they're just kind of holding out. I don't know. I think they're having they're having that Grand Slam event, right?
Yeah,
In Arthur Ashe again.
Arthur Ashe.
I kind of feel like they're gonna win it then. Because it's coming up here. Like what? This isn't it this month or
No,
next month or
it's like 2 weeks away.
yeah,
It's the 18th.
yeah. So I
or
just feel like
21st or something.
with even
21st.
like even with a bigger crowd, that I think they were just probably like holding that out so they could get that more of a bigger pop. Not that Chicago doesn't have I mean Chicago has huge pop. I'm just saying I think they were waiting for it. But yeah, man, I mean that could have gone either way. I kind of wish that they did take the titles, but it is what it is, man. Maybe this is what CM Punk was talking about with the changes and whatnot and the decision makings.
Apparently, there was a fight between all of them after Punk's comments last night.
Punches were thrown.
Yeah, biting might have happened, chairs might have been thrown. But apparently, the Young Bucks confronted Punk for his comments in his locker room after, and security had to break up the fight and everything. And that doesn't. I mean, if it's a work, you're working me good, because that just sounds like it's bad news all around.
So that's the thing. I'm not 100%. And there was reports, and people were like, "There's no way that was a work." But you've seen Tony Khan use the media and use social media to kind of swerve us. Professional wrestling fans think they're smarter than anyone else in wrestling. They think they know everything. We read almost too much into stuff, and then we get swerved and everybody gets mad, or I can't believe this. It's like we're almost too smart for our own good, if you will. So I'm not convinced this is all part of a bigger storyline, because I had mentioned it pre-show. I think it's time for Punk to turn heel, and I think the fact that Chicago fans were rooting for MJF and booing CM Punk tells you all you need to know about it. I think it's time
we love a good heel.
And then, so if you do a whole, Punk is awesome with factions, whether it's the Straight Edge Society or a Nexus or anything else like that. Like he's successful in factions. And if you do like a whole AEW originals versus Punk and his crew kind of deal, I think that's something that would play.
Punk and FTR.
Yeah, it could. I love. By the way, FTR, I love them so much. I love their theme music. The daughter coming out. I don't know if I told you, Jason. We were walking, and then like she came out, and her whole storyline with her heart problems stuff. Like I was crying. I don't know if you guys noticed me, but I was like bawling. I text my wife like, I'm crying at professional wrestling right
now. So yeah, if that whole drama is a work, if it's not a work, either way, it makes it must see television on Wednesday, because MJF's gonna. I think you have to start MJF coming out. You gotta get that lead in
on Wednesday.
Yeah, he has to be the first one out.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
I think one of the things that I think I was talking to Peter about this, like when we're coming back. MJF's the biggest thing right now, and one of the biggest, if not the best thing in AEW right now. And obviously, when he came back, you heard like how Peter mentioned, everybody was chanting MJF while CM Punk was in the ring. That's how big of an impact that MJF has right now. And right now, WWE's, man, Triple H is slowly getting that company back to where it's going to be. It's going to take a little bit of time, but obviously they brought Braun Strowman here. If anybody did watch Raw today, but wrestlers are coming back. So I mean, it's going to happen. Where now, like, I mean, WWE is always going to be number one right now, but right now with all this stuff that's been going on, and if it's true about the whole thing with AEW, with all the backstage, BS that's been going on, this is they're going to have to figure something out. And obviously this move with MJF coming back, I mean, it's the right time right now. You have to have something to compete against WWE, because WWE is going to start getting into that same where, I don't know if to that attitude era just yet, but they're going to be building soon. So they're going to have to figure something out here. I get that. Yeah. That's my point here.
Yeah, I don't think we won't see the attitude era, but the whole thing about PG-14 coming back, and then dropping some more swears and like bringing back first and last names, something so stupid. But the fact that Tommaso Ciampa is now called Tommaso Ciampa again, and like little things like that.
They
Being
just
able to
they just said they brought back the word hospital too.
Yeah, so like it's little things. They've been saying wrestling instead of sports entertainment. So it's like the little things that Triple H is doing is going to go a long way because, like I said, I think we're the marks, if you will, are smart enough to notice that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So all right. That's our wrestling talk. Thank you guys for.
And shout out everybody again. Like I said,
yes,
we
shout out
gained some
everybody, yeah.
followers, we gained subscribers. The tailgate was awesome. So just one more shout out for them.
All right, so the show's almost over, but I do have a question for you because I do have to get some nonsense. Yeah, I do get some little nonsense in the hour here.
Nonsense.
Yeah. So if you guys could, because obviously this question came about to me today because with the drama that was in ACW and also the drama that was White Sox Twitter today, which
that's a whole nother can of worms. I don't even want to get into, but yes.
Yeah. So my question is to you guys, if you could start one Twitter beef with someone, any person on Twitter, and they had to respond to your beef and you got into a full Twitter beef with someone, who would you choose to start beef with?
All right, that's a great question. I'm going to workshop my answer. Do you have an answer?
Yeah, I have an answer.
All right, go first because I'm going to workshop this.
My answer obviously is Boob Nightingale.
You hate him so much. That's a great answer.
But not only that, but if you ever check his timeline, he never responds to anyone's tweets. He posts like garbage, nonsense, shit, hot takes, and then he just leaves it there. And then a million people respond, and he never claps back or says anything. Like he's the opposite of Jeff Bassan, who will fucking just bury you and just nuke you on Twitter till you have to like delete your account because he just embarrassed you so bad. But just the fact of all the shit he like gets wrong and like all the jinxing, like we all say, like, shut the fuck up, Bob. We're watching a White Sox game. Like, you're gonna ruin it. Like, I want to start a beef with him and call it all his bullshit and his stupid ass shit, and finally get him to respond for something so people can take him down.
The Jason James versus Bob Nightingale rivalry has been going on since before, like the Chicago sports.
But it's been a one-sided rivalry because he never responds to anyone's tweets.
You've been calling him Boob forever.
He is a boob.
All right, so it's a good question. I don't know if I want to go because the easy answer for me is like if we get into a Twitter beef and we're, I don't know if you want to call it like chasing clout. The easiest way to go about it is just go after Portnoy. Go after Portnoy. He responds back. Because they're so. I mean, Barstool is so divisive. Where like they're so popular, but also they have these crazy people that are so against them, and it's easy to just go after Portnoy. And if he responds, I mean that's like you're chasing clout, like I said. But I don't know if that would be any fun. Like I'm more. A lot of the times I side with like the Barstool crowd. Not all the time. So I'm not like hating them as much as you hate Bob Nightingale. I think the answer would be Jay Mariotti, and he's not relevant anymore. But we've documented how much I hate him, and he blocked me when I was like a teenager. So I want to bring back that rivalry. I'm going to go after Jay Mariotti and see what happens.
That's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, he was always hated. He's just the biggest anti-Sox fan that there was, and you're covering the Sox, dude. Like,
yeah. So. I don't even. Yeah, I'm blocked, so I don't. Is he still even around? Does anyone?
I don't follow him. I don't go creep on his page. Like if he has one, I don't even know.
Credit to us. We might be more relevant than Jay Mariotti nowadays.
That's probably true. Johnny, who would you beef with?
The Wendy's account.
You don't want that smoke, Johnny.
Yeah, you better have some comebacks ready on that one, dude.
Hand up, Johnny. We're family, and obviously. Like we have to have each other's back. I'm not so sure I'll have your back against Wendy's. I might be on Team Wendy's.
You don't want to catch a straight bullet on that.
I don't want that ricochet shots from Wendy's.
Yeah, especially when
Wendy's account.
Like, I'm gonna clip this. See, they're gonna go after that's in here. Let me get this banner out of the way. That's Southside Bum at Windy City Rebel 4.
you guys are not. I'm trying to sell our brand, so trying to get our name out. So, no, I wouldn't go after the Wendy's account. I'm just kidding because I probably would get buried. I don't know. I obviously I don't beef with anybody. Like, even if I see something on there, I mean, it would have to be something that would really get me going, where it would really make me upset and all that. But I don't know if I would want to beef with it. I don't like putting my that stuff out and whatnot. But
I agree
I don't
with
know,
you,
man.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Credit to you. Credit to you. Credit to us. Mostly, we're not beef online people. Like
No,
if somebody says
no.
something kind of shitty to us, I kind of ignore it. Like I'd rather
Right.
not go into the weeds and into the. I mean, there's a lot of crazy. Like most of the time, White Sox Twitter has been awesome to us, and we've never been into a beef in general with them. But it seems like every week people are fighting and stuff like that. So
Sure.
yeah, we're
And
lovers.
yeah,
We're lovers, not fighters.
yeah, it's just not the worth the time. But yes,
Yeah.
to answer your question, Jason, I don't know who I would want to beef with, because, like I said, I'm a lover, not a fighter.
I think what's funny about the Wendy's account is people actually seek it out and be like, okay, Wendy's, roast me.
I don't want
Yeah,
that
it's just
smoke,
like, all
man.
right, here we go.
And then they just get like all that smoke, and it's like, oh fuck, man,
Yeah.
fuck me, why did I ask for that?
Because it's funny. And they do it. I mean, whoever runs that account is like, I mean, it's got to be a team, but they are professionals at what they do. Because you do see the okay, Wendy's roast me, and then they roast you, and then 15 minutes later, you click on the tweet, it's like account deleted. Like they didn't want that.
No, they're catching bodies left and right, man.
Yeah.
It's masterful, and it's funny when you see other like Twitter accounts try to like mimic them now, like with clapbacks or shit like that, and it just sometimes they just fall flat. Like you need to have someone that's just like a professional roaster, like get like a comedian or something, like hire like your Twitter account.
Yeah, like I was gonna say Greg Giraldo. I think he passed away though. But like those people that were like always roast masters for like Comedy Central and stuff like that.
Right. Who is the main guy who's been recently who does the roasting?
There is the bald guy.
Yeah, that guy.
My
Yeah,
God.
Like Ross, right? Is the last name
Yeah,
Ross?
Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah, Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah.
That's who you need to like run your social media account. I you know what? Maybe you should tweet him. Like, give him 24 hours to run the bum account.
Can we get that? Well, we're gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe not.
get Bill Burr to run the account for 24 hours.
Yeah, Billy Burr.
We probably would be canceled.
Yeah, I think he. Yeah.
We'd
stay
have,
away
like,
from the comedians.
Yeah, we'd have 0 female followers by the end of Bill Burr's.
I mean, besides our fiancés, I think we might have 0 female followers in general. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready to bum some people?
I am ready to bum some people.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
New segment. I like new intro to what a bum.
I'm trying something out here.
Yeah, I like it. Well, you showed me the original version that was like a minute and a half long. I was like, dude, we got to keep it like 10 seconds, man.
I made one of those, and I just found every YouTube clip of somebody mentioning the word bum, and I put it all together, and it was like a minute 40 seconds long. Jason's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "We can."
You're gonna lose people, and like anytime you listen to radio when they have like their little songs, like remember like the Dougie Doug song for or it's Briggs time, like
My favorite one, and I mean, obviously
that's a good one.
My favorite one has always been the JD song with Waddle and Sylvie.
Yeah,
and obviously they can't play it anymore. We love JD. Everybody did, but that JD, we love your stuff. That's the best one. I always love that one.
That's why I say you need to keep it like 10-15 seconds. Like that's.
I listen to your advice. See, we're a democracy.
That's right. All right, so I'm gonna start with my MVB because we kind of said it was gonna be a consensus. Like me and you, Peter, had the same one, so let's just get it out of the way here. My MVB is Marcus Jordan for going on a double date with Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. I mean, like you don't. I think we've learned by now you don't come at Jordan unless you're ready for that smoke too. Maybe Jordan's running Wendy's.
That's true. He took that personally.
Yeah, because when Jordan takes shit personally, that's what he would always just like never forget that in the court. Like you said something 10 years later, he's fucking dunking on you or whatever. Scottie Pippen tried to come at him. He's like, all right, I'm not coming at you. I'm going to send my son to go fuck your ex-wife.
This is some Game of Thrones shit, man. This is you come at the king, you best not miss. And I don't care how many books Scottie Pippen's gonna have to write, you can't come back from this. You can't come back from Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen. And it's awesome. It's literally a soap opera. And obviously we're on Team Jordan. If I'm not gonna turn my camera around because it's gonna mess everything up. But right to my left, I got a 6'6" cardboard cutout of Michael Jordan. We're Team Jordan. We'll always be Team Jordan. And Scottie Pippen, I'm sorry, man. You're catching L's left and right.
I mean, this is like Kardashian shit. This is fucking like Laguna Beach, Orange County shit. Like this is all like the bad reality shows you can Real Housewives, like all those bad trashy reality shows. This is like real life that, and I love it. I just love that. I mean, you had to have been like, I have to imagine that Jordan was like, yo, who you going on a date with? Oh, you're never going to believe this, Dad. Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Hell yeah.
Hold on, son. Let me call TMZ. We got to make sure this gets public.
This is, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, but credit to Marcus Jordan. Obviously, you got your dad's back.
What's the age difference in them? Like good 20 years, something like that?
She's younger. I mean, she's crazy young. I mean, not young. I mean, I think she's in her mid-40s. Marcus Jordan is in his early 30s.
Okay.
I'm spitballing here.
Right.
I'm not.
No, that sounds about right.
Okay. All right. And I don't really have a bum this week. I'm going to bum myself for not having a bum.
Fair.
So, all right. Johnny, what you got?
I also don't have a bum, so I'll bum myself too. But MVP, I actually have a couple. One, I got to give a shout out to Jason and Sarah for pretty much. I mean, obviously, we brought everything, but Jason was cooking the whole time, and Sarah was helping out and getting everything prepared for this event yesterday. Me and Peter were talking with everybody as well too. So as a whole team, I want to just give a shout out to you guys for doing an amazing job, setting everything up, the flags and whatnot. So
appreciate that.
And then another MVP is, I know we've been talking about them, is the fans, the people who came out. I wanted to give a quick shout out to one of my coworkers, Aman, and his friend for showing up as well too. Obviously, we had our friends, our buddies, Joey P, Manny, Louie, coming out, and then we met some new people as well too. Just everything, just everybody, if I'm forgetting any names, I do apologize, but
Fat Zach is slowly becoming one of my favorite Twitter followers.
Yes. So
we love Fat Zach.
And he brought his crew as well too. So just everything as a whole, it was a great day. Great weather as well too. It wasn't hot, no humidity, so it was just perfect. So I just want to send my shout outs to everybody who did come to the event as well too.
That's right. Thank you, everyone. Now, Peter, take us home.
All right. So my MVP, I got off of work early on Saturday, so I was able to catch the Foo Fighters tribute to Taylor Hawkins. And I had been texting Johnny about it. Obviously, we're both very big Foo Fighters fans. That tribute show was awesome. It was crafted and ran about as perfect as a show can go. It was 50 songs long, a lot of special guests. Liam Gallagher coming out there and singing some Oasis songs at the beginning of the show. Violet Grohl singing Valerie. She's slowly becoming a really, really, really good singer. That was really good. And then they ended the show playing a bunch of songs. And at the very end, they had Taylor Hawkins' son, Shane, play drums to My Hero with the Foo Fighters. And if you haven't seen the clip, I didn't want to put it on here because I didn't know about music licensing and stuff on YouTube. But if you can, go search it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitter. This kid just wailed on the drum set. And the fact that he's just hammering the drums and Dave Grohl is playing and singing, it was emotional, and I get emotional all the time nowadays, but it was really, really cool to see. And if you haven't seen it, I just recommend you guys checking it out. It was an awesome show, and I know Johnny felt the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a great show, and just seeing all the artists come together for, obviously, for a musician that we lost at such an early age. It was heartbroken. Yes, I that particular one, obviously it was very heartbreaking because, I mean, it's kind of like you felt the spirit of Taylor just coming in with, when his son was playing. I mean, to me, that's what
was
I
awesome.
felt. Yeah, it was just an awesome show all around.
All right. And then my bums of the week, I like closing it out with the bums. One easy one, the Now Arena. We had a great time at All Out, but the fact that they just flat out ran out of food in the 200 section, and they ran out of food early. No pizza, no hot dogs, no nachos, nothing for about half of that show. You can't do that. Like, they just flat out ran out of food and it never came back.
Last year they ran out of beer.
Yeah. So it's like, I know we talk about, going back and tailgating and stuff like that, but if they keep doing this, they can't keep having that show at that arena. You got to go to United Center. You got to go to Wintrust. You got to go somewhere where they know what they're doing, because just the fact that they just run out of food just can't happen.
Well, another thing I like to add too is the porta potties. There was not
lack of
there was
porta
that
potties.
literally, lack of porta potties as well too was terrible.
Yeah, they're just things that they have to account for, in planning, and it's not it's not an AEW problem. It's a Now Arena problem. So they're
Plus
they're
their
easy.
Their concessions their food sucks there too.
Yeah, it was just not good. So they're an easy bum. I mean, that was just an easy thing that we could do. And then finally, I mean, we've been a well-oiled machine. We talk about us being a democracy, and we've been really, really good with the tailgates and the tweeting, and we feel like we're a family. So we have this bet with Bob Pants, and I'm gonna bring it up here because I want to get Jason's take on this, because we've talked about it for about a week now. So Bob Pants, he's a Detroit fan. He's been on the show for a while. We made this bet. If the Lions end the season with more wins than the Bears, we have to dress up as Kiss and sing Detroit Rock City. And if the Bears end the season with more wins than the Lions, he dresses up like the Blues Brothers and sings Sweet Home Chicago. Johnny immediately in. I was immediately in. Jason sent us, he's like, one no. And then he's like, no. But then his argument was, you don't do face paint. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, it means what I said it means. I don't do face paint. What does I don't do face paint? Are you afraid of painting your face?
No, okay, why do we have to fucking cosplay Kiss and he just has to put on fucking like a hat and sing this? Like, he gotta put a hat and sunglasses and sing Sweet Home Chicago. I gotta go fucking pay someone to do makeup and buy a whole fucking outfit? Like, no.
You just
I'll just draw it on you.
Drawing. Yeah, we're drawing our own makeup. We're getting black jeans, and I got my Doc Martens, and we're gonna go sing a song. The fact that the main thing about it is, I am fully confident that the Bears are gonna win more games than the Lions. That's the main thing. It's like, we're not even gonna lose this bet. So just say yes.
No. No means no. I mean, like I said, we got to go buy wigs. At least I do. I don't know what you guys can fucking do with your hair, but I got to buy a wig. I got to go buy makeup. I got to sit and let someone do makeup. And then I got to put something on the internet that's never going to die. I already have 1 million Halloween pictures from like 15 years ago of me with my balls basically hanging out, my ass out, dressed as Bruno and in sperm costumes. I don't need any more embarrassing pictures on the internet or video of me on the internet. Internet doesn't die.
We're in the content game, baby. This is all part of content.
So you could have done something else. Like, why did it be Kiss Detroit Rock City?
Joey P, Cousin John. If anyone else, we need a third and maybe a fourth for to complete the trio. I need somebody in. Jason apparently does not want to do it. but I'm still in. Johnny, I know you're in.
I said a
Yeah.
food bet. I said if we win, we get beefs, and if he wins, he gets Little Caesars.
Oh, we can still do that. We can still do that too.
All right. Well, we
I
got a
mean-
week. We got a
I
week.
mean,
to figure it out.
Detroit is Little Caesars capital, right? So let's just buy Bob like 2 pizzas and some crazy bread, and then we all get like fucking Johnny's beef or something like that. I'd rather have a food bet than. Yeah, I know, but I don't need to do it. I do embarrass myself on the internet, Julie, but I don't need to do it in makeup and a wig. That just adds extra layers to my embarrassment.
Johnny, you're still in, right?
Shout it out
Shout it out
now.
loud.
Plus, you guys know I don't karaoke.
Karaoke?
Joey P's in. All right. So we got Joey P in.
Yeah, he'll be
We're-
Gene
we're-
Simmons.
And the fact of the matter is, we're not going to do this because it's just not going to happen. So we got nothing
But
to worry about.
we did, yeah. The Bears are winning the division. We already said that in our
Thank
NFL
you.
predictions.
But yeah, so I mean, just because I thought we were a well-oiled machine, Jason, you were going to be my bum. Oh wait, I removed you instead of the. I messed up. All right, time to end the show.
I'll own that instead of if it requires me not dressing up as Kiss, And plus, like Bob Pants couldn't even get his audio working right for our 100th episode, so I don't trust him to get his video right to win that bet.
Oh, he
That's all
he will. If one thing Bob is good at, he will own up to it. So
I will say he will. Yeah, I mean that Academy Awards bet that he had to go win a field and shit in a bucket. So credit to him.
Okay. Well, fair enough. All right. We're going to try to have another special guest on next week. I don't want to spoil anything yet because it's not confirmed yet, but I am working on it. Other than that, though, we want to thank you, everyone who supported us this week at tailgating, who wore our shirt at Dylan Cease's Fuck You game, who's retweeted us, who's liked us, commented, subscribed, all that good juju. We appreciate it. We love you guys. We're going to have our return of Bum Bets this week.
Yeah, keep an eye on socials. We'll probably before the Thursday game.
Yep,
Bum Bets will be back.
we'll have a special NFL kickoff Bum Bets. So we're gonna give you some picks on that. I will bring back the insane parlay, which everybody loves so much. Crickets on that one. And then we'll have our normal NFL picks coming out on Friday as well. And there will be Johnny will probably have some college football bets in there as well.
Oh yeah,
'cause-
we're all the way back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's it, guys. Have a good week. We'll catch you next time.
Good night, Joey.
good night, everybody.